Welcome back. I got a heater down by my legs, and it's like either it's cold as hell in this room, or I have a heater down by my legs that even on low, I'm singeing all my hair off. It's one or the other. Happy Tuesday. I hope everybody's doing well. For those of y'all who saw my video this morning, I tried to make it a little bit quicker. Tried to kind of zoom through everything, but I keep saying, when you're in however many projects it is, I mean, 19, 20 projects. Even if you talk for only 2 minutes about each project, that's 40 minutes right there. Um, you know, I'm trying to decide if I should just, take some projects off, but I want to, keep some of those, kind of keep y'all up to date on what's going on with some of those projects. I don't know. I have to pass a message along to one of my children. I'm sorry. Um, so, I try to make it, like I said, a little bit different. I didn't sit there and put chapters in it and stuff like that. So, um, I thought it'd be a little quick. By the time I edited it and realized it was 40 minutes long still, I was like, holy hell. So I didn't get that many comments. I didn't get that many likes, so I figured some people didn't like it. Or is it just that deep end so dead right now and people just don't want to really even watch videos? I saw somebody else on YouTube discussing kind of the same thing. He can tell that his viewership, and usually that kind of starts in a bear market, that people just aren't as enthused with what's going on. And like I say, they don't care, but they just don't get, they don't sit here and watch everything going on with it. How about that? How about that? Oh, David Dave is in Vegas. Well, you know what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. Usually it just means I leave with a lot less money that I went with. catching up on some things on Discord and stuff like that. Um, Waiting for a few more people to get in before we start discussing the topic of the night, which is Nubila. I know several of us have a lot of comments towards it, and been looking into a couple of things today, so we're going to discuss that. Also, while I do believe she is the queen of clickbait, she actually had a pretty decent video earlier, Wendy O, discussing, how people want to talk about crypto being rug pulls and different things like that. The huge dump today in market cap for gold and silver. And you have been hearing for the last several days, if not weeks, how everybody needs to jump into this, get into this. And in the past, not that I know a lot about gold and silver, I don't own any of it. Not planning on owning any of it. I did look into getting some a while back, and at the price that's at, it's like stupidly ridiculous. Um, I think I kind of missed the boat on that one. Just kind of like I feel about Bitcoin. Um, so I'm not an expert on silver or gold, but it does seem that there was a huge push recently for people getting involved, getting into it, buying it, and you did see a good jump in the price, and you saw a huge decline recently in that. And I thought that was kind of peculiar that people want to attack crypto for that kind of stuff. And then now you have um, gold and silver doing that same thing. Um, I'm looking up the price of gold, and I'm not really seeing what she's talking about. So she's making me look like a fool. Gold looks like it's higher than ever. So where she's coming out with this gold and market cap thing and all the stuff like that, I don't know. But thanks, Wendy O, for making me look like a god darn fool. That's what I get for listening to you. Um, did silver go down? So silver took a dump yesterday. I'm gonna say gold market cap. So yeah, Wendy O did this huge video yesterday about, or earlier today, about gold and why they can't be slamming crypto when gold's doing this. And where's that video? I just saw, I don't look, gosh darn fool. So I'm not losing my mind. She did do a video on it. 1.7 trillion wiped from gold and silver in 90 minutes. I just thought it was funny just because everybody's claiming how crypto is just this huge scam, rug pull, and everything like that. And you can supposedly, as she says, wipe 1.7 trillion away in gold and silver in 90 minutes. So I just thought that was something a little interesting I wanted to mention. But I had enough of that already. So what else? What else is going on? Crypto is the only gambling I do. Yes. And we're gonna talk about that in a second, because watching the Moken helium I mean the Moken, which is what also helium deployed, but their video earlier, YouTube video earlier, they made a comment about gambling and getting, you know, Bitcoin solo miners is basically almost like a gambling versus buying deep pin miners that you think and you have to hope those projects succeed. They can sell data, and there's so many things that have to line up. And I thought it was a pretty good point that I was going to discuss with y'all, that he's not technically wrong. When we buy some of these different projects, we're putting faith in the success in the hands of some of these projects, you know, faith in their hands that, GeoNet is going to be able to sell their data. And so far, GeoNet and even Onacore to a point have successfully done that. They've been successful in selling their data. Now, that doesn't mean in the long term it's going to be good, because you look at Helium Mobile, Helium IoT, they've been successful. That's why I have one of Grumpy's rules. Just because a project's successful doesn't mean it's going to be successful for miners. I say it all the time. WeatherXM, um, Demo, and there's some others out there that are using the Helium IoT network, Helium Mobile. Y'all are using those devices and offloading cellular, getting paid for it. So that's being successful. It just is, in turn, is not working out like we wanted to at this point. So you can see it coming down. I don't know what's going to happen with Helium, but um, you know, so anyway, that's where we at right now. If you want to start talking about Nubila, also that was mentioned in the Moken Helium Discord, Helium Mobile, Helium Deploy, the Moken Live. I'll call Moken Helium Deploy because it's the same groups. But Moken Live earlier, they actually addressed and started talking about some of this Nubila stuff. And we have been mentioning it here on this channel for a while. And it just goes to show you that even though a project is doxed and project was claiming it was going to do all these things that it was going to do, it can still happen. What I wanted to do is I wanted to also go onto the Nubila website and see if they still have the team listed, the team of whoever is behind it. Because like somebody else brought up in this Discord earlier, I mean in this live earlier on YouTube, was make sure we keep notes of who this team was. Because when they start, and look all these trusted by people. These are names in the crypto world. These aren't some no-name projects. And then who their partners supposedly are. Rover, the weather company. Now, is this kind of like DeFly, where they sat there and said they were going to, they were actually partners and they went away? Or it was all false? I don't know. You know, you haven't really heard much from Wingbits, GeoNet on this, BNB, Wise, Rover. You haven't heard much about from them on what the hell's going on and what their 2 cents are on this. So somewhere on here at one point, was the team, and I'm sure that it ain't hard to find. Because everybody's got Wayback Machines or whatever the hell them things are called. Somewhere they're gonna have the team of what from Nubla. But we gotta look at what the writing on the wall is, what we have so far. Last night, even when I was trying to do my update on the Nubla on my video last night, I could not get into my dashboard. What I could is I could kind of get. I know it's not gonna make a lot of sense to y'all. I could kind of halfway get into my dashboard. I can see partial information. I can see where it says, I do have one node, so hey, it's connected. I can see my wallet, it's connected. I can see reward history that I got back in October 10, 11, and 10, 19, which was after I bought those. That one node, I paid for that node. I didn't get that node for free, unlike what some people want to suggest or make comments about. I got a certain troll out there that loves to always pounce when I'm wrong about something. Hey, it is what it is. Nobody's perfect. But that's it. Like, I cannot find anything about my weather station, my Marco that's out there. And according to people who are in my Discord and to people who are in the Nubla Discord and on the Moken Discord underneath the Nubla section, they are all having this issue. I've had referrals to this; those are gone also. So, not that I really care about that, because I feel bad that some people follow me into this. Of course, we didn't know, and that's why we always say, "No, this is financial advice." But this is all going. My Marco shows 0 now. If I even try to show that I purchased, if you remember, I did a video on this on how to claim it and verify it and stuff like that. I've did that before. Now, when I claim it, it does not work. It does not work at all. It doesn't say, "Hey, you've already did this once" or anything like that. It just doesn't work. It's just got issues. I don't know what else is going on with it. This heater's burning me up. There's a guy on Moken's Discord called Dpin. I think it was Dpin Doc, and we actually shared on my Discord some of the stuff that he found. And one of the things that he found that was quite troubling was that some of the staking was not going back to the wallets or wherever those staking rewards were supposed to be held at. And that was one of the first kind of red flags we did see with this. Trying to find my Discord. So this is Moken's Discord right here. The whole site has recently been shifting towards ASIC, so it's a matter of time before they get removed along with a bunch of other dead projects. That's from JD himself. I didn't see this earlier. That's pretty wild. Dpin Doc says they've taken the Node server offline. They finalized the rug. It might be worth spreading the news. Nubila rug. Dpin is the worst. Always ends up the same way. Well, that sounds like what's his name? 619. I think we can all agree this is the worst weather project. Yeah, I guess so. There was another. I'm looking for an actual count. Wouldn't throw any money at it until they clean up a lot of this wallet. But But like what was brought up earlier in the Discord, and you have to agree with, when projects start completely abandoning their Discord, you have a lot of contributors who are trying to ask what the hell's going on. At first, making baseless claims of rug pull. Nobody's going in there to address it. There's been no updates about this project for, let's see, how long has it been since they've had an actual update about this project? You see them discussing the better rebate. Um, let's see. Darren's the only one, and they talked about him earlier. He's the only one that's he's in charge of community, but from what I understand and listening to what the YouTube said earlier, he's still not really with the team or with the project itself. So, he's going to be breaking down the current situation of the TGE. This was December 3rd. I don't know. There's they talk about the Nubila airdrop, but like, when was the last time you really saw an update about the project itself? You can't. And like I said earlier, in my Discord, I told people when you start seeing these bots every day that are making comments on X, just to let other people know, we need to, at least what my opinion is, we need to start letting people know. I made a comment today in the X, and I made sure I tagged Nubila Network so everybody can see it. Instead of having bots that post nonsense on X daily, how about someone from the team at Nubila Network answer their contributors and their Discord members about the dashboard not working, nodes and miners disappearing, and people saying the project rug pulled? And I might just copy and paste this every day I see a bot, or do we need to start reporting Nubila Network as a bot or something like that? I don't know. Um, and I guess these are all bots also that are making stupid comments after. I don't know, or just trying to get clout themselves. But I think it's something that needs to be addressed. Posts are probably scheduled X. A lot of them causing additional confusion. They have to end sometime. Foxy Evolution says, don't forget, this is what I was saying earlier, don't forget who the founders and team are. It's important for when they attempt a new project in the future to try and get you twice. HD has to take a stand on this. I am curious to see how Helium Deploy does kind of handle this, because they were pushing it. Again, they're the store just selling a product. They are selling the device. They have the device in hand, and they ship the project. They don't have any inside information on what was legit, what's not legit, or anything like that. But it's still funny to see. Not funny. It's still going to be interesting to see if they just remove it, if they address it, or anything like that. Dude, this deep in doc guy's on top of everything. That's all I can say. He digs deep. So I don't know. Let's see what else I got. It does make no sense to get into this project now. If there's anybody out there who's looking for a weather project, if you're like me and you're a weather geek and you are trying to combine, weather and deep in, there's nothing for you right now. That's my opinion. I might piss some people off in here, but there's nothing for you right now. Um, just because right now out of the three, Weather XM is the clear winner does not make it a true winner. I know that might make zero sense to y'all, but let me try to zoom this up. Weather XM. Weather XM is ranked number 8 out of 13 stations, and you're making 7 cents a day. So at 7 cents a day, they changed this around a little bit. Weather stations, and they still have their Nubilas in. So your cheapest weather station for Weather XM right now is $400. So you trust a calculator. So if rewards stay the exact same as they are right now, they could go up, or the token price could go up. You know, um, you're looking at only 15 years to ROI on helium on Weather XM. Let's see. The device is $400. With the Grumpy code, you will get with $40 off of this or somewhere around there, but then you got to pay for shipping, so it's still gonna be close to $400. It might be a little bit underneath that. And then you divide that. Let's just say this goes up to like, what's it, 7 cents right now? Let's just say it goes up to 15 cents. You're still looking at 2,600 days. That's still 7 years. Now, here comes the wise tech hustler speech on this is why you get into certain things for the tech. And I use the same example. I'm sorry, some of y'all have heard it before, but Brusho. I needed a new toothbrush. I might get a little passive income out of it for using it 2 or 3 times a day. If I can make a little bit of money back, it is what it is. I'm not expecting Lambo money or even gas for Lambo. I think it's cool that they could take a toothbrush, because we used to always joke around about that kind of stuff. And I just thought it was cool that I could take a toothbrush, put it on D-Pen, and possibly make a little bit of something off of it. So far, we haven't yet. There's no guarantee we will. That's why, again, nothing is financial advice. If you're a true weather geek and you're going to buy a $1,000 Davis weather station like I have in the past and like I've did for my workstations, hell, $400 is $600 off, as long as it lasts. My Davis weather stations have been through hurricanes with 100-mile-an-hour winds. They've taken falls. One of them I never found again. The whole pole and everything was gone. Gone by the lake. I know that we found the pole because it still had some lines to it a little further up, but the whole weather station was gone. But for my weather stations that remained, I have a weather station in my backyard now that's been through 3 or 4 hurricanes with 80-mile-an-hour plus winds and still alive and kicking. I can't promise you this Weather XM station is going to do that. But again, if you're not that concerned with it, or you're in a place that doesn't get that kind of stuff and you will make a tiny little bit of passive income, then hey, you get a Weather XM and you save $600 compared to a Davis. Now, they have other weather stations out there that are less expensive. But my point is, that's the kind of logic I think we're going to have to use now getting into these projects. I think that getting into and look, I've did videos on this before, but I think this kind of reiterates what the videos I've did in the past say. We can't get into any more deep in projects thinking we're getting into the next helium. I'm not going to sit here and bore you with my story about helium, but we know the story. I made $5,000 in 17 days. We will never, ever, 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 ever see that again. I can't see it. You definitely ain't gonna make that with helium right now. We're making 3 cents a day with helium. And it might be lower since the token went down. So, you know, kind of like what I was saying, with there was only 3 of y'all in here when I said it, but I'm gonna kind of steal a line of what was said earlier on the Moken YouTube live video today. Was that sometimes people want to make fun of these Bitcoin solo miners, lottery miners, but hey, you know what you're getting into. You're buying Bitcoin solo axe miners, knowing that you have a better chance of meeting your girl of your dreams in the 7-Eleven while you're buying nachos. You have a better chance of that happening than you do, like, I'm talking like Sydney Sweeney girl of your dreams, movie star type stuff. You have a better chance of that happening than you hitting a solo block or something like that with these. You understand it. You go into it knowing that, hey, I'm spending $400, $300. $300, you get 2 of these things. And I have a better chance of meeting Sydney Sweeney and sharing some nachos with her. Hopefully none of them spill. At least she has a place to catch it for you so you don't waste any nachos. I have a better chance of that happening than hitting a solo block. You understand that buying this device. When you come in here and you buy, any of these other devices, you have to hope that these people can sell their data to become successful, i.e. demo. You have to hope SkyX does not fall under the same problems that Nubila did. Because SkyX also, as far as I know, because I'm not touching it, Sky, whatever this is, you also know that they can't tell you which way the wind's blowing or if it's raining or not right now. If they can, y'all tell me I'm wrong. But to me, this is almost identical to a Nubila station, right? I'm not taking a chance on it. I mean, now if somebody sends me one for free, I'll install it and tell y'all what I think about it. But my point is, you have to put your money. I'll give you another example. You have to spend $1,000 and have a very big hope and a prayer that 4D Sky is going to be successful in selling their device, and you can ROI in a decent amount of time. And what the decent amount of time is up to you. What I think a decent amount of time is on any project is, I want to ROI in under 6 months. 5, 6 months is even fine for me. I don't want to ROI in 2 years. There's no guarantee with this project that's going to happen. Now, with the size of the market of what airplane data is right now, do I think this is not financial advice? I hate to even say this, but do I think there's a mild chance that 4D Sky is successful? Absolutely. That's not saying, even if they're successful and they sell to customers, that's going to reflect in token price and they're going to do the right thing and put all into tokens, right? So you get in a hope and a prayer that by spending this money, you're hoping that they do what they're supposed to do and not be a Nubila. You're hoping that they do what they're supposed to do, and it then reflects back onto you, that you can ROI and make some profit. Where again, you go back to this thing, from upfront what you're getting into. You may never see another penny, but at least there's no doubt in your mind. You know that, I saw Tech Hustler talking about he's setting up a solo miner farm. I love to do to death. I tell you all the time, he helped me out when I was first starting. He helped me out with a lot of stuff. I won't knock the band too bad, but that's my boys. Like, my boys know, even like I ate lunch with 2 of my friends today that tight, don't work with me, like 2 of my friends. And all we do is rib on each other like we're still in high school. That's because I love them. That's just how it is. I tell people at work, people like, man, Karen that says this or this or this. I'm like, that's because I like you. If I don't talk to you at all, chances are, I mean, I don't like it. But my point is, I'm trying to make is tech with Tech Hustler, you have to be in it for the tech. But he's sitting here though now. He's talking about he's making this solo miner farm, but he's putting all these things in it. And I'm like, hey, at least with Vosk spending all this money on a solo mining farm, he's using full size ASICs, so he has some type of return coming back to hopefully pay for what he's doing. Now these things do take less power, but unless I'm mistaken, there is no mining pool that you're cooking this into and making $1 a day mining Bitcoin. This is either all or none. And then when I heard in the video a while back, we talked about it last week, the amount of these solo miners, not just Hammer miners, but all these other brands too, the amount of solo miners that are out there. Because I was contemplating buying one or two, especially when they had some of these like get two for $300 type deals. Yes, I was contemplating getting those, but let's see. You have like these version 2.0 is supposed to be very good. I'm hearing a lot about them. I have people who are pre-ordering these right now using my code, with the grumpy code. And with everything going on right now, Nubila, I just didn't feel it was right to share it up here. But y'all know the grumpy code, especially it is down in the description below. You can click on my link just to get the Helium Deploy to look at all this stuff, and even just clicking that link helps me out. But $95. But again, you know what you're getting into. Or like somebody else said earlier, and we've talked about this on projects also. Hey, if you like 4D Sky, you think about buying one station. Some people buying 2 stations with my code. Hey, I appreciate it. Y'all my best friends. But, or you know what you could do? You take that $2,000, put it into USDC right now, put it into a separate wallet so you don't have to see it every day. And when the token comes out, you buy it. It's the same thing, isn't it, to a point? Because whether or not you get if you spend $2,000 on a device now and you get some tokens and them tokens dump after before you can even sell them, and you don't have $2,000 worth of tokens yet and they dump, or you buy them at $2,000 and they dump, is there really that much difference? But if they go up, you never know. Or like some people saying, is DPIN just dead? Or you got some people out there on YouTube saying DPIN's still too early. You got some YouTubers out there, the one I talk about every now and then. He says DPIN's the next bull run. We are one bull run too early. Or is it just what's fresh in everybody's mind? Oh, let's see. I know y'all been. I didn't want to get too sidetracked. I know y'all been commenting. Wendy, good morning, Grumpy. Good morning. I'm ready to go tonight, bro. I'm tired. It's been a hell of a day. In this cold weather, we ain't used to it. It's 36 right now. It was 22 degrees when I went to work this morning. And look, if I'm not in a deer stand with a heater next to me, I don't want to be in the cold. Anything from that. They had contacts and they can try to contact and said no response, pull units from page. So Milkman saying that, I'm guessing Heal and Deploy said they had contacts. They've tried to contact, no response, pull units from page. I mean, they even HD, what's his name, even said that on the Discord. I'd like to see that happen. And Weather XM has a halving coming up. Holy hell. And that's my point is, let's say Weather XM is mildly successful. Hey, they've lasted this long. They've been out for several years. This is kind of like the same thing I said if y'all caught my video this morning with GeoNet. I love GeoNet. GeoNet's probably my number one project right now. I have faith in that's full mainnet. Right? That in Rover. But I'll still say, if you don't have new blood coming in, people's miners die. Some people aren't going to want to buy miners. Some places will need coverage that don't have coverage right now. And you have a halving coming up in 4 months. 4 months, 4 months and 3 days. if my college math is correct. It's June 1st. 4 months and 3 days. You're gonna be making 80 cents a day on a $690 device. Who's buying that? So to me, do y'all agree with that or not? Maybe I need to put that up as a poll. Do y'all agree that some of these projects that are about to have halvings, that prices have already taken hits, that halving might cripple them? Now, you hope that GeoNet has enough devices right now that can sustain that awesome project. But Helium had 900,000 stations at one time. They're down to, I don't even know so does anybody know how to look up and can find out what the current amount of Helium IoT stations is right now? Because at one time it was well over 900,000. Might have hit a million registered, but not online. Last I knew it was at the 270, 260 mark of IoT stations online. Who's going to put them back online? I'm taking mine off. When I can take them off, and like I've tried to keep the dream alive, certain one or two I have here or there for my demo stations. But when I can take you know what a Pi 4 still goes for on Amazon? I just bought one. $65. I have a $65 freaking Pi 4 inside every Helium device right now. And those layered FG9026 antennas that I said were the best of the best, the king of the kings of Helium antennas, and I will put them things up against anybody. Anybody. I was getting 30, 40 miles across them on certain locations. The best of the best. I bought them for $130 a piece. I bought 30 of them. You know, where my Helium money went? 30 of them. Guess what? They work wonderful in Meshtastic and Meshcore. I'm putting Meshtastic and Meshcore up on towers, 400, 300, 250 foot, 750 foot, and another 750 foot tower. I'm putting them layers on it, and I'm getting my layers from my Helium stations. Why? Why would I keep them online for 3 cents a day? I'm worried about that happening to GeoNet. I'm not trying to cause FUD. I'm trying to just be a responsible YouTuber and telling y'all that. I will get slammed by my troll, whatever his name is, somewhere in the Discord about me telling everybody now, taking the negative side of it. This is me being honest. This is what y'all subscribe to my channel for. I'm going to tell you right now, I am worried about GeoNet. I'm worried about WeatherXM. I'm worried about Rover. Any of these ones that have yearly halvings, I'm worried about it. Y'all can tell me y'all wrong. Y'all can tell me y'all disagree. But you can tell me I'm using my hands too much. But it's the truth. I hate yearly halvings. I think yearly halvings are lazy tokenomic writers, whatever you want to call it. Are all the weather stations bricked? Right now, they're not bricked as far as use. Right now, because this morning at work, we were talking about how freaking cold it was. Right now, it's telling me that where it's located, Grumpy's Nubila, which is my device, is 28.9 degrees with a 2.7 mile per hour. So the device itself works. I'm just not getting rewards for it. Trying to see what the temperature is surrounding it. I'm assuming that it's up to date. I'm assuming that, but again, so my weather station is working, but it just doesn't appear on my dashboard. It's not on my dashboard. Y'all make sure you hit the like button for me, please. Catch up with y'all. Are people selling Nubila stations? I don't know anybody selling Nubila station. And why would you buy one? I mean, if you want to buy one because you need a weather station for your house and somebody's selling one for $20 and you can somehow get it on the app registered to you, guess maybe. As long as you understand you're not going to get a penny for it. And, you know, how these devices are getting back to this app, I don't know. I mean, I know it's using my Wi-Fi to get into the internet, but there's still a server or cloud somewhere that is pointing it to this direction, and who knows what other kind of servers. So how long is that service going to be enabled for if they completely go under? It's not like it's a service going directly to this app, right? Um, the copycat projects are always garbage. GeoNet, Encore, Wingbits, 40 Sky, WeatherX, Frost Sky, Nubila. I don't know if I agree with that. J Styles, GeoNet. You know, are you saying that Encore is a copycat of GeoNet? 40 Sky is a copycat of Wingbits. Fry Sky Nubila is a copycat of WeatherXM. Sword Chain was a copycat of Demo. Too Many to Name was a copycat of Grass. Actually, Grass was a copycat because some of these Ernap was before that. There are several projects that were out before Ernap doing that. Some are not around anymore. Cloud says those solo modules, ESP32 is not even worth group mining. I agree with you. That's why I don't understand why he's making a mining farm with it. But hey, homeboy needs his videos. Look, I like the dude. I cannot wait. I know we were supposed to meet last year, November. I had some family drama, some family things going on. I couldn't go to Texas between work. I had something going on, some stuff at home. My son's in college. I just have too much going on. I've been eating ramen noodles and stuff like that and sleeping in my truck. So I couldn't go to the crypto conference in November and meet up with Tech Hustler. It's going to happen at some point. I don't care if we got to go further out of state and go fly to Vegas. In March, there was another crypto conference coming up I was trying to go to. That one's still kind of up in the air for me, but I still got bills to pay. And not many people buying devices, and it's just times are tight. There's way too much stuff going on. I got to do my taxes. I'm too scared to even do my taxes right now compared to what I got last year. I took even more taxes out if y'all followed that drama. So there's no telling how much I'm going to owe. Because it seems like the more taxes I take out, the more I end up owing. Let's It's not exactly their single S19 chips, only the global bottom fold, 32. I have 6 solar monitors and just one another today. They're fun. I think D Vaselino, I think they would be cool. I think they would be cool to sit up and line up here with my Healy, with my entropy Ashlers. Oh God, I need a drink. Picked a bad day to run out of alcohol. But yeah, I can line up my entropy Ashlers and my solar monitors. I'll be making the same thing every day. Zero. Nothing. No pun intended, of course. Hitting a block is a single chip operation, more chances. Yes, but not as much as true. Now what I have been seeing is, and y'all can tell me because I don't know too much about. I want to get more into solar monitors. Look, I mean that's serious with y'all. They seem intriguing. Y'all know I cut my teeth on GPU mining and ASICs. Kind of like going back. Everybody thinks I'm a deep end channel, but really I was supposed to be a crypto channel, but I can't do TA, so I might as well do some deep end projects. And I tried doing how-to videos, and so it kind of just led me down this deep end path. But I'd love to get back into some like solar mining. I think it'd be cool. I'm not going to buy a couple of $300 devices. I just told y'all that I'm eating ketchup and ice for dinner because times are so tough. I forgot. I can't make those jokes either because my troll is gonna go into one of my 17 discords that he's followed me into and say Grumpy's always talking about how poor he is. So sorry him, because you can't even joke. Control, get the fuck out. All those words look very familiar, similar to the Lark. Exactly, Milk. They should have said something that contracts to protect the consumer, not just sell. So Helium, Damn it, Dave bailed me out. And he says 225, 366 are still working online. I appreciate it. I'll try to remember it. I'm not gonna remember it, but I appreciate that number because, like I said, that shows you there was at least 700,000 helium devices pulled offline. They've had two halvings, three halvings, token prices taking a crap, but the project's still going. So I am concerned. I wonder how long until the servers go down. That's what I'm wondering too. Is how long will the servers go down? I think I missed a whole bunch. So what I was saying about the single chip operation is one thing I want to get into some of these solar miners is I'm seeing other people mining other projects, not really going for the Bitcoin solo block and making 300 something. Well, actually, it's even 300 something dollars in that because it was it 3.25 tokens at 80 something thousand. So is that about 275, $280,000? God forbid. At least I could pay off my house. I wonder if I could move that to crypto. Never mind. Let me shut up. Get myself indicted. But what I'm seeing some other people do is mine other. Can you mine other algorithms with it, or is it just other tokens? Because I see some other people, and what it is, I see some of my fellow respected YouTubers. How about that? They'll do this video like, I found a block on my solo miner, just to get all the clicks. And you find out he's mining, baby Doge, or some kind of safe token or something like that. So I guess you can solo mine with these and get some other tokens. Is it worth that? I don't know. Y'all tell me. But again, I'd like to get my hands on at least, maybe I'll get one of these ordered that it says it orders February 20th. Maybe I'll get a BitX Gamer just to play with it and put it back here and see what I like, the little cool little stand. I wouldn't mind putting this at work. I do have one of my Astros at work, and every now and then somebody's talking to me and the little pink glows and like, oh, what's that? It's nothing. Literally, it's nothing. Oh, you making money? Nothing. What about nothing? Don't you freaking understand? Nothing. Yeah. I had thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars in my wallet that is worth $200 right now. Nothing. Oh, just DCA into XCH. That's what I'm doing. And Divaslino, that's what I was talking about earlier is, we've talked about this many times in the past several months on this channel on instead of buying some of these deep in projects, do you just purchase the token? I know I have spoken to some of y'all who said, hey, I really like Wingbits, but I live in an area that is 1000% completely saturated. So I'm gonna take my $400 or $500 and I'm just buying a token. If Wingbits is gonna be close to what's successful we think it's gonna be, it might not be a bad option. Not financial advice, but the other day, I screwed up. I screwed myself up. I screwed my brain up because we went look at certain tokens and found a certain token that had a 10 billion market cap, and we saw the price on that, and I about passed out. And I'm like, if Wingbits can get to a quarter of what this price is at 10 billion market cap, y'all gonna have to find somebody else to take over this channel. or I'll be on here every day telling my troll to suck it. I probably would do that because y'all know me. I'll probably rename it to whatever his name is. Suck it day 39. That'll be the title of the video. Out of curiosity, how powerful the TX on those helium miners? You talking about on the hat? I have no idea. Somebody asked me that in the mesh core meshtastic Discord that I'm in. I don't know. I mean, 915 megahertz is limited to what, 27 dBm, 29 dBm by the time, plus you put an antenna on it, or 30, and then you put in a certain antenna on it, and then what's the max? 34 or 36 dBm is what the max is. I'm not saying you well, no, technically I'm saying you can't go over that. I ain't getting nobody to get me in trouble. I'm saying some people do go over that number, but I think the EIRP FCC limit for that is 36 ERP or something like that. Am I close to that? So it's got to be close to that. I don't think the purchase will work. Home Depot is selling Nubila, someone said. We have seen that on Home Depot's website. There it is. Look, somebody beat us to it. The the data provided is real time and more accurate than phone apps or local forecast. It doesn't even do forecasting. What are you talking about? This is supposed to be a weather machine that also mines crypto. They rug their own coins, so this weather station is absolutely useless when it comes to crypto mining. If you need a simple weather station, they're better and cheaper. They scam the early adopters. They rug pull their investors. Bye, Bob. Thanks, Bob. Maybe we need to leave. Other shoppers explored these. Hockey. They want a crypto hockey score bubble hockey. I don't know nothing about hockey. We don't have ice in Louisiana, so I don't know nothing about hockey. But Solomon can mine other SHA 256 algorithm tokens, Digibyte, Bitcoin, Pirate Coin, Stratak, something like that. Bitcoin Cash, just to name some of their 7 like others. Only one worth soloing, if not Bitcoin, is Bitcoin Cash. Bitcoin Cash is 2 to 3,000 per block if found. Others are all pennies. Now, I watched a video the other day, and I'll see if I can find it just real quick if y'all want to bear with me, the 10 people who are still watching. And it was a rather long video, but it actually gives you a tad bit of hope. I'm not saying it's a lot of hope, a tad bit of hope on that was last when I had about 3-hour long drive. When I went hunting. What be the 17th or 18th? There you go. Red Panda Mining. Again, this is y'all thought I had some long videos. He said hold my beer in this one. But it's something y'all might want to look at. And I thought it was quite interesting. Because he talks about how many blocks on these different blockchains were solo mined. And it was quite more than I thought. Now, some of them he even admitted it's hard to tell which ones actually were or were not Solomon, but it was way more than I thought. Now, he's the one that also came up with the number about how many Solomoners there are probably in the world right now attempting the Solomon. So, but again, I didn't realize this. I always thought that it averaged about 1 block per day, but it's not. It's like 3 or 4 blocks per day. So while you only have a chance of winning the lottery, once a week, twice a week, or maybe even once a day with a lottery ticket, you have 3 chances a day to hit the Bitcoin block. Now, again, I'm gonna say this again because I don't want nobody going to buy this thing because Grumpy's making them think they can win. Was it? Is it 3.25? Whatever it is, 300 something $1,000 worth of Bitcoin. I still say I have a better chance of my girlfriend, Sydney Sweeney, picking me up in front of my house right now and bringing me down to Popeyes and sitting at a table eating some chicken breast with me and some of that Popeyes mashed potatoes, which is like the devil. It's the greatest thing in the world. Then going, across the street and buying some Bywater bourbon and then going back to her house and drinking some Bywater bourbon while she's in the bikini in her pool. I have a better chance of all that happening than winning, especially if you know my luck, than getting a block on a solo miner. So if that does not cover me as far as me warning y'all that y'all have hardly any chance of getting a solo block. I don't know what it is, but I still probably will get one, just to get one to put it in my hands and to play with. I'm never gonna get Sidney Sweeney in my hands, so might as well get a big a bit axe or a solo monitor. Oh, eCash is pretty easy. About 20 a block solo. I've hit 4 in about 2 months. See, that's what I'd like to get one just to play with it and see what the different things are. Um, you know, maybe Helium Depot is watching, and I'll get a mysterious text that says, "Hey, we're sending you a a bit axe." I had it open. I'm waiting to see. That's how 4D Sky worked. I was sitting there talking about 4D Sky, and all of a sudden I get I'm like, yeah, I'm very partial to Wingbits, and I feel like I'm cheating on my wife if I get a 4D Sky. Then bling, you're being sent to 4D Sky. Holy hell, you know. So I'm seeing if I can repeat that same magic and get me a couple of solo miners. If anybody's watching, I'd like a couple of different solo miners so I can see which one's the best. But I will tell you this: the Helium Deploy stuff, this group that I am in with all the different YouTubers, affiliates and stuff, it's been awfully quiet. Maybe what we saw earlier in the beginning of this YouTube, where you're gonna see them pivot somewhat out of deep end towards more solo mining and ASIC mining. Maybe that's accurate. Maybe it's accurate. Maybe that's why you got some good specials right now on ASICs and solo miners. I don't know. Make sure y'all take a second and hit that like button below for me. I really appreciate it. What else is there? Anything else? Um, 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 um. Y'all want to talk politics for a little while and see people go crazy? And what's crazy is this is the version 2.0 with 1.5 terahashes for $95. But the 1.0 has less terahashes for $184. And when you estimate, so this is what the current, well, this is pretty cool. This is what the current reward is for Bitcoin. If you hit a Bitcoin block, you got a chance of winning 273. You know, God, let me tell you, dear God, it's me, Grumpy. You have given me some really bad luck in my time. My son's going crazy right now because the speaker we paid $500 for a GMC, we got screwed over for some dielectric grease is now broken again, and I'm dealing with that. On top of I paid extra on taxes last year to Uncle Sam's putting a rod into me, and all these other issues I'm constantly having with my Wingbit station and stuff. I think I've really been a good boy so far this year, and I really would like to hit a Bitcoin block. Amen. And Sydney Sweeney needs to take me to Popeyes. Amen. See, now it's all in his hands. How about that? Tom just takes a little prayer. Look, man, you have a 1 in 554 billion chance of hitting that. Or you can pay $2,500 for a T3 and still have a 7 million chance. So let me see what this is. Let me see. Because I really don't know. I just want to see. What's the chances of hitting the Powerball? The jackpot odds is 1 in 292 million. So you actually have, well, no, because you're actually getting 3 chances a day to hit this. So I guess if you had to average it out per day, I don't know how that would work out. But it's a 1 in, and actually you have a 1 in 11 million chance 1 in 11 million chance of hitting the $1 million prize. But again, the Powerball is only what, twice a week, where this is 3 times a day. You are roughly 239 more times likely to get struck by lightning in a year than to win the jackpot. Be eaten by a shark, 1 in 264 million. There's no known method. That's Powerball. I'm looking for where's the regular Louisiana lottery at? See, this is 1 in 5 million for the Louisiana lottery. Make sure y'all just want to go rush out and buy some more, huh? Bitcoin block time is on average every time. Wait, Milkman, you're telling me that it hits a block every 10 minutes? I'm telling you right now, I could have sworn in that video I just watched, it said Bitcoin block is 3 times a day. See, if I can just live long enough, it says I have roughly once per 82 years. If I can just live to be 133, that's so depressing. So it says mining a block happens every 10 minutes. Y'all were right. Learn something new every day. So you have a 1 in 500 million chance every 3 minutes. Not every block's a winner. Oh, just will solve. That's right. That's right. Sometimes blocks will solve. You're right. You're right. You're right. Damn it, Dave. Dave has a better chance of going and put everything on red or black or green on the roulette table. Dave, if I give you a couple of numbers, you put them on roulette for me, I'll Venmo you some money. I love roulette. That's my game at the casinos. I love roulette. I can't count fast enough for blackjack. I got a buddy who will sit up till 6 a.m. in the morning if the crap tables are hot and come out with pockets full of cash, and I have no idea what the hell he's doing. No idea what the hell he's doing. I don't like the what do you call them, the poker machines or whatever like that, because it's all algorithm and computer based now. I don't like that at all. So I'll do roulette. I will sit back because some of these conferences I go to are at casinos. That's just where the convention centers are at some of these cities. And I will watch the 2 or 3 roulette tables, and I'll just sit back and I'll just watch the numbers. I'll watch the dealers. I'll watch certain things. If I see certain numbers come up, I have a certain group of numbers I always play with certain corners and birthdays and stuff. And if I see those numbers kind of popping up, I'll go play them. And I normally do very good. My problem is I'm cocky. And when they change dealers, I'm like, I'm on fire. There's nothing that's going to stop me. And next thing you know, all my money's gone because I don't know how to get up off the table. That's cool. So we're all getting out of deep end and we're all selling. Make the announcement now. We're all getting rid of deep end. We're selling all our devices and we're going into solo mining so that Sydney Sweeney picks us up and brings us to Popeyes. Got it? We're all on the same page here, huh? Oh, Jesus. Hey, listen. I know I can't win. I tell y'all, I got the worst luck in the world. The worst luck in the world. I told y'all that before. If anything can break, it's gonna break on me. You know. But if any of y'all who are watching, the 15 of y'all watching right now, get or already have a Bitcoin miner, solar miner, and are happy or lucky enough to get Sydney Sweeney to bring y'all a pop out. I'm not joking. To get to get a solo mine, I will be ecstatic for y'all. Because that's how I am. Y'all know I created this channel to help other people out, not to make $1.30 for every YouTube video. So if one of y'all could ever get lucky enough to win that, or even win 25,000 from one of these other things, I would be happy as hell for y'all. Happy as hell for y'all. And that's me being honest. Especially if you tell me that, hey, I watched the YouTube and I saw you were talking about those Bitcoin miners and I bought one for $100 or whatever the hell it is. And I got a block. Dude, I'd be happy as hell. Happy as hell. Because that's how I am. Despite what my troll wants to say, that's how I am. And I do have Venmo. I'm looking at some of these solo miner deals that they got. Bidaxe, hammers. So for those of y'all who are also here, if y'all watched my video earlier, and for those of y'all who were last week, I was advised by Wingbits. I don't know where it's at. I have to contact them again. But I have supposedly a Wingbits new device on its way to me. I'm emailing them right now to see what the shipping is. Whatever the mysterious flying saucer is, I have one coming to me. It is not, they're not giving it to me for the hell of it or for the fun of it. Um, I'm sorry. I'm looking at stupid, like, I don't know how I get stuck in some of this stuff. Like, what would you think was going to happen? I'm looking for Wingbits. People are stupid. So, this is coming. What it is, I don't know. They won't tell me what it is. Like, they want me to test it, but they're like, we're not telling you what it is. I gotta have an idea. So, but they're not telling me it's a miner. They're not telling me it's a router. They're not telling me it's a gaming module or if it's a weather station. I don't know. I am excited as hell because y'all know I like to put my hands on things. You'll know I'm like that. But I'm here to test it. Not like, hey, here's one for help supporting us. I have to test it, provide feedback, tell them what I think about it, see how it works, and I have to keep my mouth shut the entire time, and that's gonna kill me. It's gonna kill me. One time, back when I was, because I'm a Gen X '80s kid, um, was born in the '70s. Like, I have ADD real bad and ADHD or whatever. So, but they didn't diagnose us back then. You just talk too much, or when they called on you, you were too busy staring out the window looking at the squirrels chase each other. But sometimes I talk so much, I had to take literally a piece of Scotch tape, because I didn't want to get sent home. And back then we used to get licks. But some of y'all who are younger, y'all have to look that up, because if I talk about it, I might get doxxed or get in trouble on YouTube. But we used to get licks if you were bad or talk back, or they told you quit talking, and I would know I'm not supposed to talk, but then like 3 minutes later, I got sidetracked. Don't start talking again. It wasn't that I was trying to be disobedient. I just forgot when he said don't talk. So I'd have to put Scotch tape over my mouth, literally Scotch tape over my mouth, because when I went to talk, the Scotch tape would remind me to shut my mouth. I'm not joking about this. I'm gonna have to do this for the station, because I know It's gonna kill me to not bring the news to y'all on if I like it, if I don't like it. Because we did learn in the AMA, which I gotta finish that video one day. HiFix is still continuing to make stations. I misheard the other day when we went over to AMA. I misheard when they said somebody asked, "Is Wingbit? I mean, is HiFix still making stations?" I thought they said no, but what I was clarified on was that the question was, "Is HiFix making these news stations?" And the answer was no. uh, thank God. We all know how that has gone, even though it's a small percentage. You got people still complaining their devices are going down, even people using the little BS inserts that I've called and said that would be nothing burners. But anyway, HiFix is not making this. I don't know who's making this. They did not release who's making this. I don't know if there's gonna be a sticker on the bottom. I don't know if there's going to be a label on the box. I don't know if it's gonna be a bare box, but I'm hyped up as hell to get this in. I want it now. I'll pay extra the next day, air it to me. I want to get this in my hands. I want to see if this design, I want to see if it really sits on the on the table like this, which I doubt. I'm sure it's just some cool graphic they made up. Um, I'm assuming that antenna is one antenna for Wi-Fi, but if you look really close, to me it kind of looks like there might be like two antennas. Like this is just maybe like an AI graphic, you know. Oh, the thing glows like this, but then you'll have people that cry about it glowing. I wanted my entropy astros to constantly glow pink. I was upset that they turn off other than once an hour. Um, I think this is gonna be cool. I don't know the price on it. Don't know what it does. So, is this a combination device with Wingbits and Nubila? No. We don't know. No idea. I just thought, I thought there'd be some people who make comments and like comment about this, like when I discussed it on a previous video. I don't know, is the excitement for Wingbits over with? Everybody who's in it's already in it. We're not buying no more stations. Wait for TGE. Hey, we got 8 weeks left of quarter 1. Is that right? End of March. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I think it's going to be pretty cool, and honestly, I can't wait to get it in my hands. I don't know if I mentioned that to you 6 times or not. Um, Daba collab. Um, Milkman, you're not the first person to mention that. Has that ever been officially announced? Was Wingbits and Daba? Because you're not the first person that mentioned that. I don't know if you're being sarcastic or not, but see, somebody has a comment on here that says Wingbits has the sky. Now we need the land and sea. Somebody else comments on here. Is this a Daba hotspot? Possibly. Somebody else said, Wayru, is that you? No, we know it's not Wayru. Hmm. That's about it. I don't really see. They come up with some stuff. Sydney Sweeney is launching a lingerie brand. Is that crypto related? Like, I don't know how this all gets on my X. I don't click on any stuff. I do strictly X crypto related stuff on here. Why? I don't. This is like is X is just like Facebook. Hey, we know you're not interested in this, but we're gonna shove this in here anyway, so that you can get involved in it. You know, like there's nothing crypto on my X right now. There's tactical investing at least. A coin at 18 that goes to 88 freaking dollars in less than 3 weeks in the middle of crappy market. No one. River? Anybody? Anybody? Sydney Sweeney climbed the Hollywood sign and put bras up. Now, I have personally been to the Hollywood sign as close as she is right here. There is a 24/7 LAPD police officer on there on the detail. So people can say what they want that this was like some brazen thing in the middle of the night. No. Either this is not the real Hollywood sign or they paid and got permission to do this. But I'm telling you right now, there is a LAPD person there that has one of the classic LAPD cars, like from Dragnet, that stays parked up there because the LAPD officer drives his personal vehicle back and forth all the way up the hill and down the hill. But I was able to go there, literally get this close to the sign, and I got pictures of it. I'll find it one day if people don't believe me. But my point is, there's a detail officer up there, security officer. There's no way this happened. I mean, or it wasn't planned, collab, whatever you want to call it. I don't want to see this. I don't want to see this. I don't want to see this. Don't want to see that. Don't. Oh, I do want to see that. CapturGO. So CapturGO today, I got actually a warning that I was spoofing my GPS. Has anybody else got that from CapturGO? Look, CapturGO. I have an iPhone. I let CapturGO and I let 375 AI run in the background constantly, and and earlier I got some kind of error that said you jumped X amount of meters in 4 seconds. We're suspecting you of GPS spoofing. My thoughts are you better update your crap because I ain't spoofing nothing. I ain't got time to spoof nothing. You're not even paying yet. So why would I be spoofing? Even though I'm sure they got people out there cheating because some people cheat at everything. But has anybody else started getting these errors from CapturGO about spoofing? Now, I am kind of, after all the negative stuff we talked about deep in for the last 2 hours, I am a little intrigued by CapturGO. It's a free project. I got a code below if you want to join it. Join, help me out, and let's see what happens with it. Version 2 is supposed to be a little more intriguing, a little more active, a little more stuff you might have to do. But on the other side, do we need another project that has something to do with mapping or cameras or potholes or road closures, AI? Like, what's CapturGO going to offer that some of these other ones ain't offering already? This is to me, this is some of the red flags we should be looking for. But again, saying all that, I will still run CapturGO because it's free. FREE spells free. 375 AI. Took my tokens, made whatever I made off of them. It was free. Nadix. I still got $300 worth of Nadix free. Didn't pay for it. It's better than I did with SwordChain and some of these other ones. And Demo, I made more on Nadix with a free project than I did with SwordChain or Demo that I paid for devices. So you know what? I'm gonna run CapturGO, and whatever happens, happens. The only thing is with CapturGO is once you run over certain areas and you paint them purple, that's the end of it. Like, I don't think you're getting more points for covering it again, or if it refreshes after a certain point. I don't know. With 375 Go, I am. So We'll see. Oh, make sure you hit the like button for me. I got 17, 18 people in here, and only 6 people hit the button. I appreciate it. Um, Wingbits Station, India test. Yeah. Yeah, if you want to read about it, just search Google, search Wingbits, and I will. AccuRest went live this weekend on Good Exchanges. Look, a lot of y'all have talked about AccuRest. I will say that. Never got into it, but a lot of y'all have talked about AccuRest. So for those of y'all in it, I wish y'all luck. I hope y'all do good in it. Yep, got it once leaving Canada, BC, Canada. British Columbia. Also got one when I flew into Las Vegas up to 8,000 points. At least I only make sure it's logged before I drive. If you only spare crypto jar, just put up AIOZ node for free. Hmm. Let me see what I got. I got a few more points than that. On my CapturGO, I got a few tokens. Now, is it 619? 619, I think, he had like quadruple what I got, but he was driving to like cross country or something. He's doing good. I know he's not happy with D-Pin right now, so he's probably not in the live. I wish some of my OG guys would come back, but hey, it is what it is. I can't force them. Um, you know, I wish some guys just get over with whatever their hangups are and just be here for the fun and for the crypto. Some of those guys were good contributors to the channel and to y'all, and we found some good projects with them. And like who fought it and stuff. I wish he was here. Some things bother people. I just don't let stuff like that bother. It's just me. Maybe. What else? Like if I start Xing this stuff out, will it quit showing like all this crap? Like I don't want to see this. Look at Tizawa. I don't want to see this crap. Like I don't want to be dealing with it. It's a bit for grinding overtime, get everything assembled, packed, and shipped. Patience for the first hammer script miner. Hmm. Script solo mining. Active investing, Tomart River. Again, I don't want to see that. I don't want to see like I don't care. I don't care. Buying Bitcoin used to be middle finger system. Now it just makes BlackRock and the government richer. I can't disagree with that. I'm buying whatever she's selling. That's what else. I don't want to see it. 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 Like I'm sick of X. Like already, I'm just done with it. I don't know what happened to my algorithm. Like I just click on crypto stuff, and I was looking at Tech Hustler stuff early and Red Panda stuff early. Like, why am I looking at this crap? Damn it, Elon Musk. True, true. Not getting that either. I've heard some bad things about the hammer script miner. Yeah, deploy. But wait, we looked at the hammer miner. See, that's what I'm saying. I gotta learn more about helium deploy ship hammer miner. Oh, here it is right there. The new script, home lottery miner. At least they call it a lottery. They're not lying. The first of its kind device lets you pool mine or solo mine script-based tokens such as Dogecoin and Litecoin. Litecoin. See, I keep messing with that Litecoin. It's all be messing for me. What truly sets the hammer mine apart is the Inquire role as a Dogecoin lottery miner. Solo miners have the chance to strike it big with a block reward of 10,000 Dogecoins valued at $1,500 with an approximate chance of 1 in 21,000 per day, depending on the network hash rate. You can earn Litecoin, Dogecoin, Lucky Coin, Bells, PP Coin, Junk Coin, Dingo Coin, Cat Coin, Digibyte, Gold Coin, and Aurora Coin. And I'm assuming this junk coin is not the junk coin that we were mining with the ESP32 junk, whatever like that, that has also faded into non-existence. So it's an ESP32 that's way up here on top of a board with a miner. So it makes it appear like this whole thing is a miner, but really it's just your ESP32 board up here, right? I'm assuming. You know, this is when I knew that ASICs flipped the script. Was when I was into ASICs, it was a negative thing about the amount of heat that came back off of them. And then somebody in the ASIC world had the bright idea of, you know what though? If we turn it around and we advertise these as a heater that also mines crypto, some people will fall for it. And guess what happened? That's what they did. So now they turned a negative thing of a heater, which right now would be great in this room. Not that would spend that. But again, it also burns some power. Tell you what, let's see. Right before we leave, we're about to close out, everybody. I appreciate everybody who's been here tonight. I appreciate everybody who has been patient with these lives and stuff like that. You know, we'll be back Thursday night also. But I wanted to go on here to see, you know I like to go on here and see who's purchasing what. Well, I don't know who the who is, but what's been purchased lately with my discount code from Helium Deploy. It kind of just gives me an idea of what is going on in the deep pin market. So we have two sales that I've gotten since last week, and let's see what that is. I got a feeling what it is, but hey, an air squitter. Hey, I appreciate it. You're my best friend. Um, Air squitters are selling, even though they don't ship till May. I'm assuming that you're gonna have a TGE, but at least they say they are. They're talking about doing TGE with Q2, Q3, or something like that. And let's see what the other thing is. A BitX Gamma version 2.0. So that is what's been moving lately on the Grumpy discount code. Last week I told you about this one. Last week I also had a back to back. I had a actually this person bought two last week, but three BitX Gamma 601s for $285 minus the Grumpy discount. So I appreciate that. And another BitX Gamma version 2.0. I guess they got some good pricing. So that's what's been sold the last 2 weeks. 1, 4D Sky, 3, 4, 5 BitX Gamma 6.0, 601 version 2.0s. And then 3 weeks ago, you had a 4D Sky, another 4D Sky. What's this? must be a 40 sky with an antenna because it's almost $1,200. That kind of lets you know what's kind of being sold right now, and at least on, using my code, I really appreciate it. It helps out a lot, you know. And I thank everybody who supports the channel by doing that. Hey, we call some good ones, call some not so good ones. Y'all know that I'm trying to help y'all out as much as possible. I understand that because I've had some of y'all reach out to me after last week when I made the comments I made, that I really feel really, really bad. Actually, despite what some people might think, I actually I do lose a little sleep when I feel like I've kind of pointed some of y'all in the wrong direction. I can sit here all I want and say how, you know, um, not financial advice, don't follow me into this. This is what I'm doing, that kind of stuff like that. But especially seeing y'all use the code, I know some of y'all follow me into Nubila. And that's one reason why I still bought a node with my own money, that $300 with my own money, just to kind of show y'all that, hey, I'm taking this chance with y'all. It's one thing when I get a free device and say, look, y'all go buy, I'm getting a free device. But with Helium, with Nubila, I was taking kind of a chance with y'all. I'm out of $300 also, but I still feel bad when this kind of stuff happens. I didn't want this to happen no more. Hey, this happened with DFly. I didn't want to be involved in this no more. What do you do? The team was doxxed. You can't find who the team was now. I'm sure some of y'all can if y'all take the time to go look. You know, my dog's going crazy. It must be snack time. New weather. At one time he was on. All right, so where the fuck is Toby at now? Co-founded by Toby and CEO Bob Benson Huo. So does Benson Huo have a LinkedIn? I'm just curious, like if because normally when these things get rug pulled and stuff like that, you can't find nothing about them no more. Like everything's gone. I could have sworn. Benson Who ain't got a damn thing on his LinkedIn about no new boy. Damn. So where's this 2.5 million at now? I hope somebody's going to Ben's door, knocking on his door at his house and saying, "Bro, we need to have a talk." I'm not threatening anything health wise. I'm just saying we just need to have a talk, bro. Just a friendly talk. Let's sit on the couch and have a talk. Or he could be like some other people. He helped found the project, got it started, and then moved on to something else and had a team in place. Because that's what some people do. They're just there for the beginning while it's in testnet, helping the project get off the ground, and then they move on to another project and get another project they're hired to do that for another project or another business. Maybe old Ben didn't have nothing to do with that. I don't know. No, says not an ESP32. Under the heatsink, maybe ESP30 similar MP. ESPs don't need heat sinks. They have A6 chips. You're right. You're right. You're right. Because that must just be for the display on top. You're right. Oh, look, it's been a long day. I'm sorry. I might contact Healing Deploy, tell them my node that I purchased from is no longer working. I want a refund. Let me know how that goes. I might do the same thing. All right, boys and girls. Anybody? Dobbs, hey man, what's happening? How you doing? We've been going for 103 minutes, so it's about that time for us. Appreciate you checking in. We did some deep diving on Nubila, and it don't look good. Do I know about XForge? I've heard of XForge. I'm not in XForge. If there's something that has recently happened with XForge, I'm not familiar with it. Maybe one of my guys here who know way more about certain projects than I do, because sometimes I get pigeonholed into certain projects that I like, and I don't do enough venturing out and finding out about other projects. In the video that I watched earlier today when I was getting notes on Nubila, they did talk about XForge. The question was, are people going to take the chance of buying another phone to possibly get look at the XForge phone community. Voscoin, Tech Hustler. Boy, that's a lineup, huh? Tactical Investing. Well, the only person they're missing in there is Grumpy between that bunch, huh? Dude, I would never see my face next to Voscoin. I don't ever expect to be on that level. That's just the kind of respect I have for Voscoin, despite what some people think. He's the godfather of DPIN and mining, at least in my mind. Him, Red Panda Mining, and some of these guys, like, but I don't need no phones. That's for sure. I got four or five of them now. Our target date is to start shipping Q1 2026. Um, what video? I think I pinned it up. That is though. Nope, that's the wrong video. Let me see if I can find it. All right, this is the video that I was talking about earlier that Healing Deploy talked about Nubila and what they're finding with Nubila and what they talked about. Healing Deploy, I'm sorry, Moken. The Moken live video that they did earlier today, and they also discussed the XForge phone. And kind of what they thought about it and if they thought people were going to get into it or not. I don't know. You know, I just gotta. I know I'm not supposed to, but I just have a sour taste in my mouth right now about buying more deep in projects. I gotta start seeing some home runs or some successful stuff. And I don't know, which is not fair because I'm not saying there's anything wrong with XForge. I don't know enough about them. To me, what makes it a deep pin phone, what makes it so much better than your own phone, like this one that's running 375 AI and combiner. Technically, it's a deep pin phone, ain't it? My Android device in my car that's running grass on it. It's running chirp cage. It's running At one time, I was running Earn app. That's technically a deep pin phone running deep pin projects, right? And those are free phones that were old that they're technically running off Wi-Fi off of something else. I don't know. Interesting, interesting, interesting. Any update on the Nubila front? A lot of people just come into the Discord. Hey man, are we dead? Nope, we're alive, brother. Project might be dead, but we're alive. Just scrolling through before we leave. Scrolling through a couple of projects, see if there's any kind of new announcements. Anybody go to the Encore AMA today to see what's going on with them? Encore had a recap in the AMA today. 8:40 is when I'm getting to work. Coffee ain't kicked in yet. There's no way I'm paying attention to an AMA. I need at least 2 cups of coffee in that. That's my Mesh Core and Meshtastic group. We talked about CapturGO and that kind of stuff. Let's see what else. Anything else? I don't see nothing else really. No. 375 AI. How many of y'all are still in that? Because there has not been a project announcement update at all since New Year's Eve. What about community news? That's been since November. 375 Go updates. That's been since October. All I know is I don't know if my 375 AI tokens are all going to those $20,000 edge devices they got now that they're so proud of that are hanging out in the snow and stuff. But all I know is my 375 AI tokens, even though I am driving new roads with nobody scanning them yet, those rewards fucking suck. And that's about the best I can describe it. They effing suck. Last 2 epochs combined, I've made 35 each. And and look how much it's come down. 224 the first time, 76, 72, 23. Is that 16 and 16? 19 and 16? Oh man. Boy. Some of these projects that just look like they had. I was really high at 375 AI. I say I was high at 375 AI, but it's another one I'm gonna say I don't know what they were getting out of the scanning. So if each epoch is 2 weeks long, in 4 weeks I've made 62 cents. $2 a day. Depends on a bad rule, man. That's all I can say. I wonder why people are losing excitement and losing interest in this whole genre right now. It's up to Wingbits, 40 Sky, and a couple other ones to pull us out of this rut. We're just getting kind of like some people stuck in the snow right here, down here in this ice and this mud. They're just getting stuck deeper. It's just making a whole genre of DPIN look bad. Does anybody disagree with that? Give me an amen if you don't disagree. Uh, did I get Solana Seeker? No, but I've also been hearing some very negative things about the Solana Seeker. That was also discussed in. It's almost like you set me up for this video from the earlier today. That video earlier today from Moken also discusses the Solana Seeker and some issues they're having with it, and some of it was something to do with security, or it wouldn't be updated no more, or something like that. It was some kind of issue with the Seeker. You know, I know they discussed the Seeker earlier. I know they discussed that other one earlier. Maybe they were talking positive. I don't know. I don't want to lie to you. I saw the title of that video, and the title of the video was "Is Nubila Cooked?" I knew I had this video this evening I was doing about the Nubila thing, so I didn't really pay too much as mind with this. So you have to again go watch the video, but they do discuss the Solana Seeker and that other one kind of in full earlier. Running Natix, yes, I still run Natix. That's another project that makes me completely seasick at the point. A month and a half ago, 2 months ago, they talked about not giving the Natix um, camera thing as much rewards. They were cutting the rewards in that, putting more rewards into the little scanner that works along with the Tesla vehicles. And then all of a sudden they did a 180 on that. And last month or so, they start talking about how they will continue to reward on the video camera. And you kind of knew there must have been something going on. Then they come out with this announcement about, I discussed this in my video this morning, but they then discuss this new AI thing, because why not? Everybody else is doing it. Um, this World Foundation models, physical next frontier physical AI. And they kind of put this announcement, and the token got a very positive reaction, which made me kind of think that maybe this wasn't a nothing burner. Maybe there was something actually to this. So I have never stopped running Natix, even with the token price, what it was doing, and whatever was happening with it. I continue to run Natix every day. I still put a little bit of effort into figuring out during this month what 10 days would I be driving the most, and therefore I will um make sure I run my nitro through that time frame. Trying to see. Got blown up too much. They had a very, very positive price increase from they were at 0.00026 and went all the way up to 0.0004, 0.00, almost 0.004. And I guess people have taken profits or whatever like that, and they've kind of come back down. They're still up 12% for a week. They're up 1%, 2% for the day. For the month, they're up 4%. So you don't apparently whoever this Vallejo company is. Let me see if I can move that over for y'all a little bit. I'm not that familiar with them, but I've seen this comment more than one place, not just here, that whoever this Vallejo company is, you don't partner with companies like Vallejo by accident. Next is quietly aligning with real world giants. First grab, now Vallejo, global leader, whatever. Again, I've always said this is a free project, completely free. Didn't cost us anything to get into. Um, I've never staked my tokens. I was a little pissed off with the fact that when I tried to move my tokens off of Natix onto a regular Solana wallet or whatever it was, they still held them for 30 days, which I think is bullshit when I was not staking them. If I'm not staking my tokens, release them now. But here it is. But either way, I'm still running it. When I get up and I go get my truck in the work in the morning, I'm letting them warm up or whatever. I'm still turning on my natives, turning on my sword chain screen, even though I think that's completely worthless now. Turning on my rover, turning on my, make sure that my chirp cage is not signed out. Make sure my combiners turned on, my 375 AI is turned on before I leave the house. So I'm still running natives. I've already did my nitro for this month. Couldn't tell you where I'm ranked at, but hey, it is what it is. But I know it's a very long answer that took 20 minutes, but I'm still running natives. I'm still on top of natives. Yes. Thanks for checking in. Dobbins. Appreciate it. Dobish. So, all right, boys and girls, we have been officially 2 hours. It says we've been here for 120 minutes, 2 hours. I'm not going to take any more of your time now. We'll be back Thursday night. If I talk about everything tonight, then we won't have to talk about Thursday night. Maybe we'll have a little more news on natives. Maybe I'll have a little more news on some solo miners. Maybe Helium Deploy was watching this like last time. I was trying to jinx myself again. You know, man, I really don't want a helium solo miner. Not helium, oh, Jesus, from Helium Deploy. I really don't want a Bitcoin solo miner. Really don't want one, guys. Nope, don't send it. And then they send it. Kind of like what happened with 4D Sky. Apparently, I'm waiting. It ain't working like that. Have some news about the new Wingbits station I'm supposed to be getting. Maybe I'll have a little bit of news on that. If it's shipping, when's it shipping, what I can release, what I can't release, what the hell it is. Could be a freaking dog walker AI robot. I don't know. Finding out if Sydney Sweeney's gonna pick me up to go to eat at Popeyes. I know she's been busy in Hollywood hanging bras from the Hollywood sign, but you never know. So I appreciate it. I appreciate everybody who supports the channel. I know things are kind of dead, things are kind of sideways, but some of y'all are still here, and I appreciate it. Hey, keep coming back for the entertainment, even if you don't want to. To my other guys that I talked about earlier, I hope y'all come back to the fray. Don't let all this deep in downward stuff and politics, keep you away from friends. We're all friends and family here. Y'all know who I'm talking about. I miss y'all guys. Y'all brought some good, positive feedback, projects, and different things to the Grumpy Discord, to the lives, and y'all helped each other out. And I'd like to see that come back again. But y'all got to deal with y'all, what's bothering y'all. I can't help other than tell y'all, just worry about what you can control in life, and don't worry about the things you can't control in life. It is what it is. So God bless all y'all. Hopefully we're all successful. Hopefully we can turn all this around. Hopefully we all get some solo Bitcoin miners and we all hit a block in the perfect world. Thank y'all for watching, and I'll see y'all Thursday night on the next video.